Oh, wow. Hello. Welcome back to another year of Breakpoint. Really glad you guys could join us. I'm Austin Federa. I'm thrilled to welcome you back to Lisbon for Breakpoint 2022. So this crazy idea last year of getting 1,000, 2,000 people from the Solana ecosystem to come to Breakpoint started as this sort of crazy dream in like June of 21. We had 2,100 people join us last year. This year, there's over 3,600 of you who have made the journey to Lisbon to come to Breakpoint. Crazy numbers. On top of that, of course, there's a live stream. So thank you to all the people joining us virtually, and especially now, coming out in person, spending money and time to travel, to come to a conference, it's really appreciated, and we've got a lot planned to make this day and this next 3 days worth your time. So it's a distributed network. It's a distributed conference. So here's a map so you can see all of our plans for the 4 venues over the next 3 days. Each one of them has slightly different types of programming and different types of experiences you can have. So first, we're going to start with the laboratory. This is the home of technical workshops and tutorials on the network. So there's a few of these I'm particularly excited about. There's a workshop on how to use Token 22, which is a new token standard that's coming to the network. And of course, oh boy, an Anchor workshop. You can blame me for that bad pun. Next up, the Acropolis. This is where we are today. This is where you'll hear some of the biggest news and updates from folks in the Solana ecosystem. Up soon today is the saga continues, updates from Solana Mobile. Very excited to hear that. And we're also going to get a demo from Kevin, who runs FireDancer project, which is the implementation of the Solana Validator client built by a completely independent team. So Solana is actually the first network after Ethereum to have this capability. They've been working on it for a number of months. It's not launching. I just want to be very clear. But you're going to see demos of code improvements that are actually bringing massive performance increases in testing environments, and that you can see coming to the network soon. You'll also hear from Amir on the state of Helium. So Helium voted as part of HIP 70 to actually move from their Layer 1 blockchain to Solana as the home for their new Layer 1. This is a huge migration and a huge accomplishment, both for the Helium community and for the Solana community. So really excited to hear more of what we have in store for that. Moving on, the forum is our home for big ideas and conversations. These are things that don't necessarily have a news hook to them, but they're the kind of conversations that when you go to a conference, you usually have in the lobby or you have over dinner, right? These are big thoughts and ideas about the future of blockchain. This is not always Solana specific. We have a bunch of conversations on zero knowledge, on how you scale networks and these sorts of things. Are wallets entering the browser wars era is a question that some folks have asked me. We're going to have that conversation on stage. Battle royalties, and again, another terrible pun. I apologize. On the future of monetization for NFT projects and where we all kind of go from there. As well as I want to call out at about 6 p.m. there today, Anatoly, co-founder of Solana, is going to be giving an overview of some of the hard problems that engineers are solving on the network today, as well as some of those hard problems looking into the future that we need all of you to help in building solutions for. So don't miss that one. That's this afternoon. It's called Looking Back, Looking Forward. Highly recommend you make it to that one, or at least tune in from the live stream. The Square also, stop me if you've seen this venue before. If you've been in Lisbon for the last week or so, you may have been to the Solana Hacker House in Lisbon or the Solana Foundation Games Day. Over 2,000 people came to both of those over the course of those days. This is kind of where it all started. This is the 24th Hacker House that we had over the last 12 months, the first one starting in Lisbon. So it's nice to close out the year with that again. Here is actually designed to be more of a community space. This is run closer to a hacker house than a conference. So it's some space to hang out, some space to potentially get some work done, some open mic opportunities as well, and an ability to get your dApp roasted, get some hard criticisms on the stuff that you're building. To help you get around, there are shuttle bus services. Shuttle buses will loop between the Acropolis, the Square, the Laboratory, and the Forum about every 15 minutes. They're scheduled to run for the next 3 days from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. The shuttles are a great way to get around, especially if you're planning to head over to the forum. It is about a 20-minute journey, so make sure you build in that time in your schedule. So speaking of that, we have a nice handy Gantt chart, because everyone loves Gantt charts, to show you how to actually think about your days. So again, we have 3 days planned here. Today is just the first. The laboratory starts at about 10 a.m. each day, and it wraps up somewhere around 3 p.m. There's a ton of really great in-depth technical workshops happening there. If you're a developer, that is the schedule that you will be very interested in looking through and seeing. Additionally, the Acropolis, where we are today, is meant to sort of be the middle section of your day. You'll hear some of the biggest news and announcements from companies deciding to build on Solana, from organizations that are bringing new frameworks to the network, and just from updates on things like the Metaplex protocol. They're going to give a State of the Union here and talk about what the last 14 months of development has been for them. The Square, as I said, place to spend some time and hang out, open conversations. And then in the evening, that's really where you should head to the forum. And that's where you'll see some of these conversations around the future of blockchains, the futures of networks. How do we bring decentralization even more to the network? These are things that, again, don't really have a news hook to them. It's not necessarily like you're going to be going there and there's going to be a big announcement from someone. But these are the things that a lot of people are thinking about, especially in this market we're in, that gives people time to slow down and to focus on building the fundamentals that set us up for success over the next number of years. So remember, this is your chance here to learn, to take some amazing memories, to see panels. Solana launched in March, its mainnet beta in March of 2020, right? If you remember that, that was not the brightest time. And so last year at Breakpoint was the first time most people building on the network had actually been able to meet each other in person. That energy really carried us through, and that is something that I think we all should replicate here in the next 3 days as well. So reach out to folks you don't know on Twitter if you see them tweeting about being in Lisbon. Spend some time, reach out to devs. Like, it's crazy to go from, you'll walk around, you'll see people look at their name badges and be like, oh, it's you, and like give each other a hug, because you're no longer a JPEG on Twitter. You're actually a real person in real life. It's really lovely to see that. So right after the State of Solana Network, we'll go into an opening celebration tonight. This is again at the forum at 7 p.m. So now I'd like to invite 2 of Solana's co-founders to join us on stage to talk a little bit about what's going to happen over the next few days. Raj and Anatoly.
Wow.
Holy shit.
How's it feel to be back in Lisbon?
It's awesome. I mean, it's crazy that there's 50% more people here this year than last year.
I think more at this point. There were like 400 new registrations yesterday, it seems like.
Yeah,
people are seeing what's happening on Twitter, and they're signing up last minute and just booking flights, which is incredible.
Yeah. So last year, obviously the first time that one of these big conferences took place for Solana Network, what were some of your takeaways and advice for folks coming into the next 3 days?
There's a lot of stuff to do, so pick your favorite panels and go and hang out and actually pay attention to the speakers, because they put in a lot of effort in making some awesome presentations. Some of my favorites are compressed NFTs. That's just an awesome piece of technology. Imagine minting 1 million NFTs for 5 SOL. I think it can really change the entire gaming and NFT landscape.
Yeah. What about you, Raj? What are you excited about?
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it earlier, but Breakpoint last year was about coming out of lockdown and the pandemic, and we didn't know what was going to happen, but we knew that everyone just getting together, celebrating their wins from the year, and finally seeing each other in person and just making connections was going to result in some kind of magic. And I don't think anybody could have predicted the roller coaster that would have resulted from the last year, but I think this year it's the same. The network's been stress tested. I think now the community gets stress tested, and I'm excited to see people support each other and just form meaningful and lasting friendships.
Any panels you're particularly excited about?
Yeah, I mean, Fire Dancer panel is incredible. It's called, I don't know if you said the title, Hold Me Closer, Fire Dancer. I think that's the best pun, for sure, and the most exciting technical lift. Instagram is here, and they have, Instagram and Facebook just announced NFT support for Solana, which is huge. Yeah, incredible. And Stripe and Google and other huge folks that are excited about Solana ecosystem. So all that is great. Did everybody go to Games Day yesterday? That was awesome. It already feels like we're halfway into the conference. So seeing folks build in the Hacker House and Games Day, that was one of my highlights.
Totally.
Yeah,
Anything here?
check out the Soulflare demo with Saga. It's pretty awesome, and you get to see the whole Saga experience where when you hit sign, it's like you just tap your fingerprint scanner and it signs like Apple Pay. This is what I've been dreaming about for crypto, like actually treating crypto as a first-class citizen on mobile. Super excited about that.
That's great. That's coming up just later this morning too.
Yeah.
So.
And like, folks, don't forget, like, these conferences and these events, this is a really good opportunity for all of you to make friends with each other, with the devs. And like, before you know it, the more often you come to these hacker houses and these events, you'll actually have a really strong community. You'll see the same people over and over, and these relationships and friendships that you build will last a lifetime.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us up here this morning to kick things off. Thank you all so much. We will hand things off to Amira now and get the program started.
Have fun.